Thailand used to be paradise for expats and digital nomads. Cheap, beautiful, easy. But in 2025, something changed. Prices doubled. Visas got complicated. Crowds became unbearable. So people started looking elsewhere. And they found Sri Lanka, a teardrop-shaped island just south of India, smaller than Thailand, less known, and according to some, the perfect replacement. But is it really? Is Sri Lanka the new Thailand? I spent 30 days finding out. I lived in Colombo. I surfed in Arugam Bay. I explored the tea country in Ella. I talked to expats who made the switch, and I compared every single thing that matters: cost of living, beaches, digital nomad life, culture, safety, everything. This is what I discovered. Comparison 1. Cost of living. The money factor. Let's start with the most important question for most people. Can you actually afford to live there? In Thailand, especially in cities like Bangkok or Chiang Mai, the days of living like royalty on $500 a month are long gone. A decent one-bedroom apartment in a central area now costs $600 to $1,000 per month. Street food that used to be 30 baht is now 80 to 120 baht. Coffee at a trendy cafe? $4 to $6. A basic meal at a local restaurant? $3 to $5. If you want to live comfortably in Thailand today, you need at least $1,200 to $1,500 per month. And that is without going out much or traveling. Sri Lanka is different. I rented a furnished apartment in Colombo, walking distance from the beach, for $350 per month. A full meal at a local restaurant cost me 500 to 800 rupees. That is less than $2. Coffee at a decent cafe? $1.50 to $2.50. Street food? Forget about it. Kattu roti, hoppers, rice and curry, all under $1.50. I tracked every expense for 30 days. Rent, $350. Food, $200. Transport, $50. Utilities. And internet, $40. Entertainment and extras, $100 total, $740 per month. And I was not being cheap. I ate out almost every day. I took tuk-tuks instead of buses. I bought things I did not need. In Thailand, the same lifestyle would have cost me at least 1,400 to 1,600. Sri Lanka is 50% cheaper, across the board. But cheap does not always mean better. So let's keep going. 2. Beaches. Paradise found or lost. Thailand is famous for its beaches. Phuket, Krabi, Koh Samui, Koh Phi Phi. They are stunning, but they are also packed. I visited Phuket in 2002. Patong Beach looked like a shopping mall with sand. Hundreds of beach chairs, jet skis buzzing, vendors every 5 meters, music blasting from competing beach bars. Beautiful? Yes. Peaceful? Absolutely not. And expensive. A sunbed rental costs 200 baht, about $6 for the day. A cocktail at a beach club? $10 to $15. Even the local seafood restaurants charge tourist prices. Now compare that to Sri Lanka. I spent a week in Marissa, a small beach town on the southern coast. The beach was almost empty. A few local fishermen. A handful of travelers. No jet skis. No loud music. Just waves. I rented a sunbed for free at a small cafe, bought a coconut for 100 rupees, 30 cents, and sat there for hours without anyone bothering me. Arugam Bay on the east coast is famous for surfing. The beach stretches for miles. Even during peak season, it never felt crowded. Surf lessons cost $15 to $20. Board rental? $5 for the whole day. Unawatuna, Tangale, Hikkaduwa. Every beach I visited in Sri Lanka had the same vibe. Quiet, affordable, untouched. Thailand's beaches are world-class, but Sri Lanka's beaches feel like Thailand 20 years ago. Before Instagram, before mass tourism, before everything became a business. If you want luxury beach clubs and nightlife, Thailand wins. If you want empty sand and silence, Sri Lanka wins. 4. Culture and authenticity. Real life vs tourist show. Thailand's culture is beautiful. Temples, Buddhism, traditional festivals. But in most tourist areas, culture has become a product. I visited a temple in Bangkok and was immediately approached by vendors selling incense, tour guides offering authentic monk blessings, and photographers wanting to charge me for pictures. The temples are real, but the experience feels curated, designed for tourists, optimized for Instagram. Sri Lanka feels different. I visited Dambula Cave Temple on a Tuesday morning. There were maybe 10 other people there. Monks walked past quietly. No one tried to sell me anything. I sat in silence for 20 minutes, just watching. The same thing happened in Kandy at the Temple of the Tooth. Yes, there were tourists, but locals outnumbered them. People were there to pray, not to pose. Sri Lankan culture is still lived, not performed. In small towns like Ella and Gali, I saw real daily life. Families eating together, kids playing cricket in the streets, fishermen hauling nets at dawn. Thailand has this too, but you have to go far off the beaten path to find it. In Sri Lanka, it is everywhere. Food culture is another example. In Thailand, even local restaurants in tourist areas have English menus, air conditioning, and prices adjusted for foreigners. In Sri Lanka, I ate at places with no menus. The owner just asked, rice and curry, and brought out whatever was cooked that day. No choices, no photos on the wall, just food. And it was incredible. If you want polished, comfortable, easy-to-navigate culture, Thailand is better. If you want raw, unfiltered, still authentic culture, Sri Lanka delivers. 5. Visa and bureaucracy. How easy is it to stay? Thailand's visa situation has become a headache. Tourist visa, 60 days, but you need to show proof of funds, hotel bookings, and return flights. Education visa requires enrolling in language or Muay Thai classes. Elite visa costs $15,000 to $30,000. And even with a long-term visa, you still have to do 90-day reports. Every single time. It is not impossible, but it is exhausting. Sri Lanka is simpler. I arrived with no visa, got 30 days free on arrival, extended it online for another 60 days for $100. Total time spent dealing with bureaucracy? Maybe 20 minutes. Number 9. 0-day reports. No proof of funds. No complicated paperwork. The Sri Lankan government is actively trying to attract digital nomads. They recently introduced a digital nomad visa that allows remote workers to stay for up to 1 year. Thailand talks about doing the same. But as of 2005, it is still complicated and expensive. If visa simplicity matters, Sri Lanka wins. But let's be honest, visas are not the only thing that matters. What about the fun stuff? 6. Nightlife and entertainment. Where's the party? This one is not even close. Thailand destroys Sri Lanka in nightlife. Bangkok has Khao San Road, RCA, Thonglor, rooftop bars, mega clubs, live music, night markets that go until 3 a.m. Phuket has Bangla Road. Pattaya has Walking Street. Even Chiang Mai has a solid bar scene. Thailand is built for nightlife. If you want to party, Thailand is unbeatable. Sri Lanka? Not so much. Colombo has a few bars and clubs, mostly in Colombo 7 near the beach. They are fine, but they close early. By midnight, most places are winding down. Alcohol is expensive because of high taxes. A beer at a bar costs 800 to 1,200 rupees, $2.50 to $4. A cocktail, $6 to $10. Outside Colombo, nightlife barely exists. In Ella, I found one bar. In Arugam Bay, a couple of beach shacks with music. That is it. Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country with conservative values. Nightlife is not a priority. If you are moving to Sri Lanka for the party scene, you will be very disappointed. But here is the flip side. The lack of nightlife creates a different vibe. People go to bed early, wake up early, surf at sunrise, hike in the morning, spend evenings talking instead of drinking. It is quieter, slower. Some people hate that. Others love it. Thailand wins nightlife by a mile. But if nightlife is not your priority, Sri Lanka's calm evenings might actually be a benefit. 7. Safety and stability. Can you relax? Thailand is one of the safest countries in Southeast Asia. Violent crime is rare. Scams exist, but they are predictable. Overpriced taxis, gem shop tricks, bar scams in tourist areas. Nothing dangerous. Police presence is visible. Hospitals are world-class. Infrastructure is reliable. You can walk through Bangkok at 2 a.m. without fear. Sri Lanka is also safe. But it carries different concerns. In 2000, the country went through a severe economic crisis. Fuel shortages, power cuts, protests in the streets. By 2000, things have stabilized. But the memory is fresh. I experienced one power cut during my 30 days. It lasted 2 hours. Not a big deal, but it reminded me that Sri Lanka is still rebuilding. Petty theft happens. Tuk-tuk drivers sometimes overcharge tourists. But violent crime is rare. I felt safe everywhere I went, even walking alone at night in Colombo. But Sri Lanka does not have the same level of infrastructure as Thailand. Roads are rougher. Public transport is less reliable. Hospitals are decent, but not world-class. If you want guaranteed stability and top-tier infrastructure, Thailand is safer. If you can handle occasional power cuts and rougher roads, Sri Lanka is still very safe. The verdict: is Sri Lanka the new Thailand? So after 30 days, here is my answer. No, Sri Lanka is not the new Thailand. And that is exactly why it is better. Sri Lanka is not trying to be Thailand. It is quieter, cheaper, less developed, less crowded. If you want world-class nightlife, go to Thailand. If you want mega clubs and rooftop bars, go to Thailand. If you want perfect digital nomad infrastructure, go to Thailand. Thailand is polished, comfortable, easy. But if you want empty beaches, go to Sri Lanka. If you want authentic culture that is not performed for tourists, go to Sri Lanka. If you want to live on half the budget, go to Sri Lanka. If you want peace and quiet instead of constant stimulation, go to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is not the new Thailand. It is the alternative to Thailand. It is what Thailand used to be 20 years ago, before the crowds, before the commercialization, before paradise became a business. And here is the truth nobody wants to hear. Sri Lanka will not stay this way forever. In 5 years, maybe 10, it will change. Prices will rise. Crowds will come. Instagram will ruin the beaches. So if you are thinking about going, go now, before it becomes the next Thailand. Because once that happens, we will all be looking for the next Sri Lanka. And the cycle will continue. Thanks for watching. If this helped you decide, let me know in the comments. Bangkok or Colombo, Thailand or Sri Lanka. I am reading every comment. And if you are planning a trip, subscribe. I have more comparisons coming. See you in the next one.